guys, Christina here, and today I have a look for you and a review of this curriculum here from the Great World Adventure. This is Understanding Western Asia. This company is also the Great Canadian Adventure. This is their World Studies unit or part of their company. I have done the Oceania one before, which I'll link up top if you want to see that review. They've changed the format though, and they've changed some of what's included, so it's definitely looking a little different. If you're new here, welcome. We have 5 children that we homeschool. This year they're in grades 1, 4, 7, 8, and 10. This is recommended for ages 12 and up, so more for my older 3 children. But the younger 2, they were there, they listened, they watched, and I'll get into more of that in a minute. But first I'm going to turn the camera around and just give you a look at the book and what comes with it. So this is what the book looks like. They are doing a spiral bound now. Before it was just a folded with staples, so that's definitely a change. It comes with 2 maps, with just the political map, and then this one is the political, but it also shows the elevation as well as major cities and capitals. So they have both the topographical and then the political map that comes with it. So the front and back cover are kind of like a thicker matte, almost like a cardboard-ish, but not that cardboardy. Does that make sense? Paper. And then here's the table of contents. So it starts off with the geography of the area, then it moves into the history of Islam, the Arab Empire, Islamic life, Islamic questions, the Arab world, and included in the Arab world are lots of different countries, issues like ISIS, war in Iraq, displacement and refugees, then Persia, the Ottoman Empire, and Israel. There is a project assignment at the very end as well. The inside pages of the book are like a glossy paper, which makes the colors really nice and bright. So there's how to use this, information, cookbooks to go along with it. Here's the introduction, so you can see a couple pages of what it looks like. They have these QR codes for videos all the way throughout. And then one of the changes that they did is that the previous one I had, they had all of the like workbook and work pages separate. This time it's all in one book. So they have this here, they have this here. You can see we didn't write on them. And I'll talk a bit more about that after. I'll just give you maybe a quick flip through. I'll show you at the end here. So there's a project assignment, information about it. There's also cutouts, so you can put the flags of the countries and the capitals. You can match them or you can put it on the map. Here's some of the assignments and questions. So it's very vivid. There's a lot of pictures. It's nice and bright and engaging. And then the assignments and the readings are interspersed within it. So diversity in Islam, the Arab world. They talk about the Arab Spring in here, understanding extremism, Sharia. So that's what the actual book looks like. Let's see how many pages it is. So just over 140 pages. Again, spiral bound with those 2 types of papers. So the company has a bunch of different units that cover different parts of the world. And the reason I chose this one for right now was twofold really. While each unit can be used individually, they do have a flowchart of recommended units just because it helps to build the base starting with particular units, and this is one of the first ones. So that was one reason. The other reason is that we're studying ancient times and history right now, and I felt like this would be a really good support or extra resource, not only because it explains historically the area, which is kind of what we're talking about in our history, but then it continues forward to the present and it gives a little more context. So my younger children are doing Story of the World Volume 1. My oldest child is doing History of the World, Ancient Times. And I just felt like it went really well together, and it did. It was very good, very helpful to hear. You know, anytime you're learning something, the more you hear that referenced or you are explained or you're taught it in kind of different ways, right? it helps reinforce the learning. And so it worked really well putting those two together. Now, like I said before, it's for ages 12 and up is what it's geared towards. Some of it was definitely over my younger children's heads, particularly the history parts of it, but that's okay. They still enjoyed it. They still listened and watched the videos, and they took something away from it. So it worked for all of them. Now, a few changes they did make is they included a lot more videos in this new unit or this new format, and I really like that. Some of them, there was a few that the QR code didn't work for or the videos weren't available anymore, and that kind of happens with media, right? Or with, I think this is the first edition, so little things. I found some like spelling and grammatical errors, but not really a big deal. The videos though are such a big help in learning and explaining. It's really cool to actually have interviews with people who live in those areas and to see the food they eat and what their homes are like and to get their perspective on different issues. So I really did enjoy that. I'd say we watched somewhere between 90-95% of the videos, maybe closer to 90, because some of them are playlists and there was a lot in there and we didn't need to watch all of them, and there were a few that were quite a bit longer that we didn't watch. Now, some of the content is geared towards older children. So if you're doing it with younger children, or maybe your children are really sensitive, you might want to preview the videos. I didn't. I felt like it was okay for my kids. It worked. I like these units. I like them a lot. I think they're around $45 a unit. In Canada, I believe that includes the shipping, not sure. But they have a bundle as well. You can buy 3 for a little bit cheaper, which is what I did. We're going to be continuing on doing a second one the second part of the school year. They also have sales, I know, around Canada Day, and I think the beginning of the year, maybe when school starts, they have a few. You can just kind of check when they have sales. But I also did just check, and they came out with PDF versions, which are, I believe, $20. So more affordable option if you would prefer to print yourself, or honestly, this course could just be done like on the computer and then you just go right to the videos, you know? Unless you want to do the writing part, just print those sheets out. So lots of options for different budgets and for how you want to use it. But I really like these units. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've missed. I remembered one thing I forgot to mention, the assignments. Because I had 5 children essentially, mostly 3, but 5 children doing this, we did the assignments verbally and we didn't do all of them. And so that's why you didn't see writing in the book. We read all the articles, we did most of the questions, we didn't do the last project, and there were some questions we didn't do, but that's why it's not written in when I showed it to you, and that's how we dealt with doing it with multiple children. I feel like I personally learned a lot from this. I understand the history of the area a little better, the division of peoples and traditions and cultures. Perhaps it's just a little ignorant of me that I didn't know much about it, but I feel like I know the areas a little bit better. There's so many recipes we want to try out now. Some of the food we watch, the videos, delicious. But it was a really great, helpful aid in learning about that part of the world, and it could definitely be a full, in-depth year study based just on this. You could add all kinds of things in. We do read-alouds with our history that went along with this as well, so that was a great resource too. If I have missed anything, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I always try and answer those for you. And if you've used it, let me know what you thought of it. Oh, I should add, I'll put their website in my description box. It's not an affiliate link or anything, but I find their website can be kind of hard to find sometimes, so I'll put the link there if you're interested. Otherwise, I hope that this finds you having a great day. Take care.